Now for the GOP. The Republican Party loves to wrap itself in the flag, thump the Bible, and tell you they're the party of the working man. But here's the thing, they're not, and they haven't been for a long time. We're not talking about a recent betrayal either. This isn't some last few decades thing. No, the GOP has been screwing over the American worker since the progressive era, since before most of us were even a twinkle in our grandparents' eyes. Let's take a little stroll down memory lane, shall we? It's 1912, back in the days of Teddy Roosevelt, when men were men and corporate executives feared an ass kicking. Roosevelt saw where things were headed. The robber barons were taking over. Workers were being treated like disposable cogs, and his own party was letting it happen. So what did Teddy do? He walked. He saw the rot setting in and bolted, creating the Progressive Party, the Bull Moose Party, because he refused to be part of a system that kissed the boots of the wealthy while stomping on the working class. The GOP, on the other hand, they stayed right where they were, cozying up to big business and rolling out the red carpet for the elite. That was the moment they chose profit over people, and they've never looked back. Fast forward a few decades, and you've got the Great Depression, a little economic apocalypse brought to you by GOP policies that let Wall Street gamble with the entire economy. Huh, that sounds like a parallel to crypto to me. I'm sure that's just a coincidence, though. Enter Franklin D. Roosevelt, Teddy's cousin, and arguably the first democratic socialist to actually wield power in this country. The New Deal? It was a direct response to Republican incompetence, a lifeline thrown to the drowning nation. Social Security, union protections, public works. FDR put the government to work for the people while the GOP stood on the sidelines screaming about socialism and big government. Their message? You're on your own, kid. And it's been that way ever since. Fast forward now to the Trump era, and you see the same playbook running on steroids. Trump strutted onto the scene promising to be a champion of the forgotten worker, talking tough about bringing back jobs and sticking it to the elites. What did he actually do? Gave the richest Americans a tax cut so big they're still laughing all the way to the bank. Slashed labor protections, waged war on unions, and let's not forget his mass deportations. And it's only been a fucking week. Farms, construction sites, factories, all left reeling because Trump's big idea of helping American workers was ripping their colleagues out of their communities and throwing them out of the country. And yet, through it all, the GOP still manages to sell this fantasy of being the party of hardworking Americans. They shake hands and stand on factory floors while quietly signing bills that make it easier for corporations to exploit those very same workers. They talk about bootstraps while cutting the strings that hold people up. They've perfected the art of telling you they're fighting for you while they're actually picking your pocket and handing your future to their billionaire buddies. So here's the cold, hard truth. The GOP abandoned the working class over a century ago. They didn't stumble into it, they made a choice to align themselves with big business and champion tax cuts for the wealthy, to oppose labor rights at every turn. And now they're so deep in the pockets of corporations, they can't even remember what a real working man's struggle looks like. Take that soft bitch Jesse Waters, for instance, who's so insecure about his masculinity, he can't even eat soup in public. And that weakling, that's the type of person the GOP serves. This isn't just a political party. It's a machine built to keep you down, smile into your face while stabbing you in the back. And it's been doing it for over 100 years.